that is the saddest thing that happened in our history, in the history of Black people in Latin America. Go ahead, man.
Well, it frustrates me, it angers me, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about how you cope with the being in this work and having this knowledge and just really breathing it every single day. And definitely for me, being someone who's very connected and spiritual, as I just find myself thinking about these people as you're speaking and giving them gratitude that I can from, this here we are on earth, whatever, to their spirits. And because the work that you're doing is making sure that sacrifice is not forgotten, that they made. And I'm sure the desperation that they were in during that time, they were just like, they probably knew in their instinct, like, this guy's lying to me, but what else do I have to lose? Right.
Correct.
Can we circle back, just focus in a little bit on Haiti in particular? Because I know that country had a little bit of a different journey. And so maybe we can touch on that briefly.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we're going to have enough time to really cover all of that, because again, that's another nation that is not even mentioned. I mean, come on, Haiti, the first nation in Latin America to obtain their independence, is completely ignored. We don't even learn that in school. I don't know. I mean, when I was in school, I don't know now if they are teaching children and teenagers and
definitely not
in universities about Haiti. I mean, we look at Haiti today and we look at it as a poor nation and we point fingers and we say, oh, poor Black people, look how are they living. But people don't understand the history behind it, which also applied to Black people in Latin America. What happened to Haiti, to the Haitian people, financially and politically, happened also to Black people in Latin America, because the government, in the European government and the United States, later on, when it became a strong nation, basically are responsible for the condition of Haiti, the economic condition of Haiti, and responsible for the economic condition of Black people in Latin America. Because again, they created politics and policies, financial and political politics and policies, to really make sure that these nations don't, and individuals don't, and community don't succeed. So Haiti obtained its independence, I believe in January 1st, 1804. I believe that's the number, correct? Please correct me, someone, if I'm wrong with this. But they became a strong nation. They fought against the French and took them out of the land and declared themselves independent. One of the leaders of the movement, we will see in a few minutes. There we go. Yeah, and Sabes Petion. I'm not a French speaker, but I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He became the leader of the revolution movement in Haiti, and also became the first president of Haiti. And we will see how his involvement, how he involved himself with Latin America also, because most of the liberation movement in Latin America, particularly one of them, which was led by Simón Bolívar, the dreamer of creating one nation in Latin America, from all the way from Chile to Mexico, and establishing a government similar to the British government, to have a permanent president, which would be like a king, perhaps, with parliament and all that. That was his dream, but that did not work. But Simón Bolívar, who basically led the movement for the group of nations that community that became different nations like Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, and all that group of people, a group of nations. Simón Bolívar led that group of areas to obtain independence from Spain, and he then learned about the liberation in Haiti, and decided then to travel to Haiti, and he did. He went he sat down, and Sabes Petion welcomed Simón Bolivar to in his nation, and he offered. Listen to this now. This is important. Something that, again, we need to know about that. He offered to assist Simón Bolivar in his movement, liberation movement, with soldiers. He assisted him with soldiers and financially with the movement. So Haiti was economically stable at the time when Simón Bolivar requested assistance, and that's how Haiti was able to get involved in it, and sending soldiers and money to help in the movement as well. So that's how Haiti basically, became an important nation with the liberation movement in Latin America. But the poverty of Haiti today has a lot to do with its history, and a lot to do with politics and policies. Again, as I said before, that created barriers for Haiti not to become a successful nation. Reason why? Two. One, discrimination, because it's a Black nation, and because the independence was obtained by a group of Black people. And so because of that, they did not want, and that's why they excluded Haiti from the rest of the world. They did not want the Black community in Latin America, in Cuba, in Puerto Rico, in Hispaniola, Dominican Republic. They did not want, the Black people and slaves in Colombia, in Brazil, and in Ecuador, Venezuela, and in Argentina to know about this, because by them finding out that you had a group of Black people, liberating a nation and becoming independent, was not something that they were interested in providing, or information providing to the Black community there, because they were afraid that would be the same thing that would happen in these nations and create a Black nation. And some documents, historical documents, some of the influential people of the movement and even European were saying that they did not want Latin America to be a Black nation. That's the reason.
Just written in plain writing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the reason.
And I know you're going through some more of these people, men, women, who participated and contributed to the liberation of the Spanish colonies. So just to clarify, Simón Bolívar is was a Latin leader that wanted to liberate his area, his country from Spain, but he was not Black in any way. He was not African in any way. Correct.
Well, according to this has been debated in Latin America, but most of the majority of the scholars believe that he was had some kind of African blood in him. They have not been able to clarify that yet, to my knowledge, but that is something that is circulating among scholars and people in Latin America, that there's perhaps his mother or his father had some African blood in him. So he was, yes, part. And also, I think I believe someone mentioned that his lover or wife perhaps may have been from an African descendant as well. But again, that's something that needs to be proven. These are basically just comments and speculation, I guess, that's going on out there.
Right. But he's someone that's talked about regularly amongst the history of the liberation. And then the names of these other contributors is left out of the history and the narrative.
That is so true, Miriam. I mean, you have all the rest of the people. Again, these are the what do you call them, the mestizos, who led the movement of independence, and you have their names,